Aloha, my name is Sahara, and I'm here to give a special message about the Indigenous people, the First Nations people, and the Aboriginals, their friends, shamans, and shamanesses. This is a message for you, to the people around the world. Thank you for taking the time to be with me today. This is a 3-part series, and this is the 3rd part. So for it to make sense, I encourage you to watch part 1 and 2. I received a special message 5 years ago, and then it came to me again 2 years ago, and again 2 months ago. So I'm here to complete this message. As anything coming to me in threes, I know that it's very important. I'd like to discuss source energy and how the source of all that has this radiant consciousness, and how that's important to us even though it may seem invisible. We've been living in the age of Pisces for 2,000 years, and at 2012 we moved into the age of Aquarius. This is a very exciting time for shamans and shamanesses, as this particular archetype, which is often called Scorpio, has been in the underworld or the underground for an entire age, if not longer. So this is a time that it's rising all around the world, the joy and the expression of this more on a public level, and the lighter aspects of the Scorpio shamanic archetype, where most people in the world have focused on the shadow, and all of the 12 tribes have a shadow. But the world is going into some form of peril, and we need the strength of all 12 tribes to move up into heaven on earth. And so Scorpio is here, the shaman, the shamaness, is here to bring enlightenment, love, and their medicine to the circle. For the last 2 ages, the divine feminine has been completely underground, and this has a big impact on shamans and shamanesses, where we've completely celebrated the divine masculine in all of its forms, including the material world, the intellect, and the manifested realm. The divine feminine is invisible, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's creative, it's intuitive. And so it's harder to map that out in the sense of particle consciousness. It is also wave consciousness in the sense that it has emotions and energies on a heart level. And these are very important medicines to create wholeness. But we also need presence. We need the energy of consciousness itself. We need more spiritual essence to create wholeness. We need the sacred 3, the material, mental, the emotional, and the presence or the consciousness of the spiritual realms in a sacred marriage. And we've lost touch with that as a society, and there's been a lot of taboo, a lot of negative press, a lot of bad energies around religion that has basically been the main template for a long time around our concepts of spirituality. But it's been highly intellectual with a lot of rules and regulations, and so many have become atheists or free spirits exploring what spirituality means to them on a personal level. So I'm here to talk about the shaman and how this is a unique medicine to the circle of community that's totally different than religion per se. We have established the divine masculine completely, the creator, but we've ignored or lost touch with the creatress, with the divine feminine, or we could call it Father Sky and Mother Earth. And it's not about one or the other, it's really about the sacred marriage, the spiral. And in the spiral, together we will create and restore balance. And in that place of balance is where we will rise and move into heaven on earth. So there is the Hermetic principle, as above, so below, as within, so without. This is the medicine that I'm talking about. So we have the established sacred masculine and the newly established sacred feminine, and we create the sacred spiral that births the divine child. And in every one of us, we are the divine child, especially when we honor all three aspects, the animal, the heart, and the soul. And when we honor all three, that sacred three comes in, then we are able to birth the creative element and be creators, to express ourselves in ways where we do sacred ceremony, honor that it is a sacred value to express ourselves in this creative way. As we hold that sacred space as the divine child, we walk between the worlds of heaven and earth. And in that place, we have a death and a rebirth, and experience a transformation that totally affects the collective consciousness, where with conscious confidence, we're able to connect through presence and being hypersensitive or empathic to feel the subtle energies of heaven and earth in a way that's subtle, but yet you could feel it with your bodies, you could feel it energetically. And in doing so, there is a natural death and rebirth experience of transformation that allows us to feel the sacred as well as the intensity of a huge shift. As a shaman or shamaness, we could do sacred ceremony with ourselves, with a friend, with 5, 10, 15, 20 people, whatever is a calling that we're listening to. And the calling is from our soul to enliven our spirit so we could be on purpose. One of the elements that could really add to this is that we do this with sacred timing. And sacred timing could be an honoring of both the astrological and astronomical cycles. And this helps amplify our prayers, our meditation, our transformational goals into a grand metamorphosis. And when we do it with another, our energies on a telepathic level create a collective consciousness within the sacred group that also amplifies our goals into a level that is even grander than when we do it on our own. But there are many shamans and shamanesses that prefer to do it either alone or with one other friend. So part of one of the gifts of this Scorpio archetype is feeling our emotions passionately and deeply. That's part one. And part two is learning to use our will to control our emotions. So it's really about aligning our emotions and our will. As we move into ritual, we experience a deep cleansing of our spirit. This includes a rebirth. When we explore shamanism, one of the biggest elements is life force energy. Part of the reason one could be attracted to this is to experience really deep intensity. That intensity is medicine for our being in these bodies, in these forms. It's important that we explore this, and there's many forms of doing this. We could do this completely in a natural, clean way that honors our health or our environment or our situation in life. As shamans and shamanesses, one of our greatest medicines are the 5 sacred elements: earth, our bodies; air, our mind; fire, our spirit; water, our blood; and ether is the glue that holds all of life together. But it also could be connected through sound. So with earth, we could do earthing. We can literally take our bare feet and connect to the dirt, to the sand, and feel the energies, the life force energy of the earth. We could drink pure water. We could suntan naked under the radiant sky. We could do all kinds of breath work outside breathing in the prana, the life force energy. A big powerful one is sound. So there are beautiful songs we could sing. We could chant, which is more shamanic. And we could also do toning, which is vibrational cleansing through sound. Receiving these sounds are very powerful, but when we join in and amplify it in community, it raises that energy even higher. Another powerful way to connect sound is through drumming and using all kinds of rattles that create the heartbeat of our great Mother Earth. There are other ways we could do it solo, by ourselves, that are very, very powerful to connect with Source. And that is through prayer, through guided meditation, using visualization. Breath work is incredibly profound on a shamanic level. When we do it in a rhythmic kind of way, it becomes another kind of heartbeat. It becomes cyclic, and it alters us into a heightened state of consciousness where we can manifest a vision quest and receive information from our soul and higher self. There's all kinds of ways we could relate to the sacred element of fire. We could sit with a candle in the dark. We could sit by a bonfire. We could move into an yurt and do a sacred ceremony. Also sweat lodges with the fire in the middle, and allowing the medicine of the fire to amplify our prayers. With the sweat lodge, it also includes the rocks and water going onto the rocks, creating an energy of moisture in the air, and it is very healing, the sacred elements of the water. There are also all kinds of natural plant medicines that alter us in a very subtle way, like herbal teas, peppermint, chamomile, and there's detoxifying teas that could create a vision quest as well as clean our bodies out. We could also go on a fast. We could hike in the mountains and have a vision quest. There's all kinds of smells that amplify these subtle transformations, such as Palo Santo, incense, sweet grass, sage, to cleanse out negative energies and heighten new positive energies to replace them. There's aromatherapy, there's Bach flowers, and there's homeopathy, all from the subtle qualities of plants. One of my favorite medicines is called energy work, where you rub your hands together and feel the vibration, and then surrender it to your auric field, and then allow energy to move so you could unblock the chakras in your own body. So this could be good for health reasons and also for shamanic reasons, for spiritual reasons. Breathing, using the breath as a way to move that. You could use chanting as well to connect. And also you could share this gift with others. Another powerful one is music, to either make music or listen to live music or recorded music. Especially music without words, where you could just really hear the chanting or hear the instruments play their various beautiful creations, and to surrender your inner world like a meditation to the journey like a roller coaster ride inside your being, cleaning you out and transforming you with another inner vision of transformation. So you could explore these shamanic tools that I've shared with you today on a personal level, or you might be called to become a healer, to be a shaman or a shamaness. And in the past there's been a lot of taboo around these things because of the Scorpio archetype being rejected for the last age, but now that we are in the age of Aquarius, this is rising to the surface as okay, as part of community. So it is a safe time to now explore these qualities if your soul, if your spirit is calling you. It is good to explore this on a personal level first to see if this medicine is for you. And if it is, and you're drawn to sharing it with your friends and your family, I encourage you to play around with this and experiment. So thank you.